12 News Politics editor Ted Nesi back with another election update, joined by my colleague Eli Sherman. Eli, happy election day.
Happy election day.
So Eli, well, I've been running around doing this, that, and the other thing. Eli's been keeping a close eye on the turnout data, and we have loaded it on my computer screen to show you folks as we talk about it. So Eli, I mean, on the one hand, that's a pretty good number. You have 420,000. You know, we're a bit over 500,000 4 years ago. 53% turnout. As you see, a ton of people voted early. Almost 200,000 now on election day. But you talked to our Joe Fleming, who is not convinced at this point now that Rhode Island will crack the turnout we saw in 2020.
Yeah, we saw really above 20,000 voters coming out to the polls every hour during the early morning hours after the polls open at 7. And that really slowed down after noon, and we're well below 20,000 now. Joe Fleming, as you mentioned, thinks that we're going to be ending up right around 500,000. In 2020, of course, we were up to 522,000. So we'd really have to see some strong turnout post-work for that to actually get up to the 522. Which can happen.
You know, people get out of work and they decide, I'm going to go cast my ballot. The other interesting thing is, you know, some analysts have wondered if we're going to see a split today between safe states. You know, Rhode Island is a blue state and is expected to be won pretty easily by Kamala Harris. Very few really competitive, high-profile races here. While in the swing states, where they've been bombarded with advertising, bombarded with door knocking, maybe those who will be more invested in the race because it's kind of happening in those competitive states. But we won't find out till later. So for Eli Sherman,
a really good point.
I was going to wrap him up.
In Providence, of course, you know, the biggest well of voters throughout the state. There aren't a lot of competitive races there. There's no mayoral race, as we're seeing in some of the other cities. So that really does put a damper on some of those big precincts.
Well, while we're still going, we'll look. And Providence, it's up top, but considering Providence has a much larger population than Warwick and Cranston, turnout in Providence only a little higher than Warwick right now, and not that much higher than Cranston. So that's a good point, Eli, about, you know, we're not seeing that big turnout in Providence, but a few hours to go. Polls are open till 8.